Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show for the final Saturday in the month of May. Yeah. Pull down my zip a little bit more. Morning, morning, morning. Unstoppable. GJ 5229. Hope you will some morning. Wayne. Auntie Lane, good morning. Morning, Fitzroy, the president in the house. Fitzroy, we need to get the Jamaican fan club up and running, uncle. My brother. My big brother. Wayne Ferran, morning. Everybody in the chat room, good morning and welcome. Naughty, you early this morning, though. Morning. Share up the live for me, everybody. Share it up, share it up, share it up, share it up. This morning, God's willing, we're going to be talking to Shadow Minister of National Security, Fitz Jackson. And of course, we're going to be talking with Ralston Iman. And we're going to be talking with you, our listeners and our viewers. Please take some time, send out the link. Just copy the link and send it out, or just share the link and send it. If you're in WhatsApp groups, send it in your WhatsApp groups. If you have broadcast group on your phone, shout out the broadcast to my Portland Spice ambassadors. Morning and welcome. We're working on some issues. Just like we're working on the morning show. A lot of people been asking for it. And one of the view in the discussions that we've been having with the directors is maybe we should switch the evening shows to morning and do all morning shows. I don't know what you think, because personally, I don't have the time to do 2 shows a day. I don't have that time. I am basically in the process of setting up new businesses all over the place. And I am dedicated to the platform, but to find two time per day, it's kind of sticky. So there was a discussion at the table. Should we resort to morning shows or work on what we are working on for the morning show and still keep our evening shows? Because I can tell you some of the logistics we're working on is to find additional faces. My sojourn into media started back in about 94, really. When I started doing some work for Caribbean Satellite Network. But then when I got to Satcom, it was about bringing people, giving people a chance to excel. And that's how Madman DP, that's how I gave him his opportunity in media. Yanil Wood, Candice Ming, Candice read news for JIS and I think CVM at one time. All those people started with us at Satcom. Captain Baker was my right hand, and Maxine Samuels, Martin Wyndham. Yeah? Fire Greg got a program at one time. Lando. Dr. Bloomfield used to host L Talk. So my thing is, when I have a platform that is growing, I like to bring on people, give other people an opportunity. No man is an island, no man stand alone. I don't want nothing for me alone. If I'm me alone, I'm going to live, me not interested. You know, I want to see people excel. And I like to tell people that my life is people-centric. It's about people. We don't fight down nobody. You understand? Once a man now take my food, me not try stop a man food. Like some people who we know just love fight people. Yeah? We build people. We build champion. So, we're discussing the morning program. What I can tell you is going to happen. It's going to happen. But we're still doing some scouting and all of that. You know? This morning is a challenging morning for me. And I'll tell you why. I'm no longer a proud Jamaican. And I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way. I'm still a patriotic Jamaican. But I am no longer proud. You know, Nardi, even when I was pushing DP and giving him the opportunities and even taking him places with me, there were people who were saying to me that, yo, that youth there, not trust that youth there. And people saw that, yeah, you mentioned President Fitzroy, one of the men who used to warn me about DP. Because the first chance DP get to go personal, he would jump at it. And it was just good, and God has been good to me that me never have no skeleton in my closet where them boy they know. Because all we have skeleton. But there was nothing that them know where them could have come out, come use for embarrass us. So God was good. Because as you hear me talk to Neville, you know, I don't mind bantering and having debates with labor rights, you know, discussing the issue. And if you realize I don't get personal, I deal with the issues. So, back to what I was saying. I am no longer that braggadocious Jamaican. I'm not so proud of my island home. Or I should say I'm not proud of the management of my island. Very disappointed with the level of leadership that is on show. I had a discussion with a friend of mine yesterday, a long-time friend. Long time him not call me. He called me yesterday and we had a discussion about politics. And, you know, it was surprising to know our man of that stature and caliber don't know the economic numbers of Jamaica. Because he's of the opinion that Andrew Holness is a successful prime minister. And even say to me that Andrew Holness was better than PJ Patterson and better than Portia. And he wanted to term Portia as the worst prime minister. I said to him that anybody reason that way, either reasoning from pure emotion and their GLP standpoint, or they absolutely lack knowledge as it relates to Jamaica's economic data. I asked him when was Jamaica's worst? What was Jamaica's worst economic catastrophe? And he went to the 70s and spoke about the 90s. No, I never even knew that this man was a Labourite. I thought he was a PNP. And I'm still baffled because I still think some reason being it should be on the PNP side. Anyway, he mentioned the 70s and the 90s. And I said to him, no. He said, how you mean? I said the worst economic catastrophe Jamaica ever faced was in 2011. And I'm like, why? Because we pay the nurses? I said, no. So I said, but it wasn't Jamaica's fault, the financial meltdown. And I said, yes, it was Jamaica's fault. I said to him, let me say this to you. We are all entitled to our own opinion. But our own facts, no. I say, here are some of the facts. When the world recession started in 2008, Audley Shaw and Ed Bartlett, Prime Minister Bruce Golding, they basically told us that Jamaica would benefit from the recession. Because of their opinion, they failed to attend upon the IMF for assistance. And when they were asked if they're not going to the IMF, they said no, it was not necessary. And when we got hit and we went to the IMF, we took the wrong loan. But here is where it went sour. When we failed to adhere to the measures of the IMF and we got expelled from the multilaterals, I said to him, that was the only time that Jamaica got expelled from the multilaterals. That was the only time we couldn't face the multilaterals to get any assistance. I said to him, Portia, you might even want to look at her as the best prime minister as it relates to economic achievement. She said, Portia neither run nothing at Peter Phillips and Mark Golding. I said to him that Peter Phillips and Mark Golding were more technically involved. But it was Portia Simpson Miller who went to the Black Caucus, the female caucus of senators, Yvette Clarke, and I can't remember the next one, I keep forgetting her name. I say it was Portia who approached them and asked them to beg the IMF to open the door and let us back in. I said to him, that was bigger than anything else, because without the doors being open, Jamaica would have been a disaster. So understand that. And that is something a lot of Jamaicans do not understand even now. A lot of Jamaicans, Maxine Walters and Yvette Clarke, thank you, Caroline. Maxine Walters, Yvette Clarke. I think Yvette Clarke have some Jamaican background. Yeah? They were the ones that Portia beg, figure plea with IMF. And remember, there's a video out, with I think Yvette Clarke explaining what happened. Because when they went to the IMF first, IMF never budged. They went back to President Obama to make a call. And then Christine Lagarde she was the head of the IMF. So Christine Lagarde wasn't a US senator. She was at the head of the IMF. And she then did have to beg. Yeah? And when we were successful in getting the door open, Peter Phillips and Mark Golding did the rest. But it was led by Portia Simpson Miller. As it relates to our economy, Bruce Golding and Andrew Holness are the biggest failure. When Andrew Holness became Prime Minister in 2016 and saw the foundation, is not me say it, and Ralston said it. Andrew Holness said we are going to grow the economy by 5% in 4 years' time. They have not gotten to 2%. So by Andrew Holness's standard, if you were going to score him and even give him 2%, yeah, that would be at 40% out of 100. A colossal failure. Anyway, Jamaican this morning. So, Fitzjackson at 9:30, so I don't want to go too much. Look at this. Listen to this.
Jamaica got more foreign aid under Hurricane Gilbert than it got under Hurricane Melissa. Do you know how much we got in donations, cash donations? How much was it? $1.4 billion.
The man said, may I play it again? Hold on, Mr. Edwards.
Jamaica got more foreign aid under Hurricane Gilbert than it got under Hurricane Melissa. Do you know how much we got in donations, cash donations? How much was it? $1.4 billion.
Lie. Lie from the pit of hell. We got $1.4 billion through the portal. Did the United States give us cash? Did the UK give us cash? Donation we're talking about. Neville. Morning.
Mr. Bell, morning. Hello?
Yes, morning. I'm hearing you, Neville.
Wonderful. I just called you to tell you, leave the evening show alone.
Don't touch
because don't touch the evening show because it becomes so informative to people. And a lot of people, when them stuck in the traffic in the evening coming from work, them get time to listen to the evening program, and the listenership is growing.
Yes.
I think you're in about the 1,400 or 1,500.
In terms of live listenership, yes.
Yeah, I have said it a lot. A lot of people is talking about it, and more people is coming on board. Leave the evening show alone.
All right.
If what you can do with if you want me host the morning show for you, fine. But I will recommend that Lambert Brown. You remember Lambert Brown used to have a very good program at one.
Yes.
If you could get Lambert, because I think Andre Stevenson have a thing where have somebody who was some of him show them training.
That is the intention, Neville. That's where we're going. If you realize on a Monday evening, we have a gospel show on a Monday evening, you know.
Yes,
where Peter Stamp come on after me come off.
Yes.
So that is the intention, to have somebody else hosting some of the program. I don't want to be the only face on the channel.
I recommend Lambert Brown.
Thank you.
I recommend Lambert Brown. Colin, I may have to apologize to you, but make a wait little.
Where are we at?
I may have to apologize.
The Minis?
Eh?
You mean the aircraft carrier that is coming to Kingston Monday?
I may have to apologize to you, but
maybe you don't need to. You don't need to apologize. Because the only thing I'll say to you, we run a credible show on YouTube. I'll tell you all the while, I am not a vlogger. I am not a blogger. So we don't do careless talk. When we talk,
Make I say this to you before I go. I keep on telling my peoples in my corner that one of the things with your show is the level of cleanness and respect on your show. And we're not able to produce that. Our show attack people too much, cuss people unnecessarily, using some words that not even people want them children to see them listening to it. And we have to work on that. And your show is a very clean show, and you learn from your show.
And that's why we're saying to you, tell your minister them that them can come. We want to ask them some question, because I'd love to ask the Prime Minister where him get this argument that, and I think I understand the Prime Minister, you know. When him say we get more money in a Gilbert, more cash donation in Gilbert than in Melissa. You know what that means, nephew? If we got $5 million in Gilbert, it could have buy more than where the $1.44 billion can buy now.
Yes, that's true.
The money then had more power than where the money have now. So the $1.44 billion is not as valuable as what a couple million under Gilbert value. But because I want to remind the Jamaican people that it was Edward Seaga that was Prime Minister when we had Hurricane Gilbert.
And the value of the US dollar to the Jamaican were much less at that time.
All right.
So we talk again.
Bless you. Conrad O'Brien, morning. Morning, Obi. Obi, you have something
morning, Colin.
Yeah, man, you have something playing in your background.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I am not proud as a Jamaican to hear our Prime Minister telling lies. Go ahead, Obi.
Hi, morning, Colin.
Yeah,
morning, nephew. Well, go on. Listen, you know, nephew, continue. Their foundation is always good. Foundation is always good. If you notice from time to time, nephew will resort back to his foundation, and the honesty will basically come through, because you see, they say truth pressed to earth will rise, and truth will swim like oil thrown on water. Therefore, that is what that's how we pride ourselves, and that's why we always say we speak truth to power, no matter who the guy is. Colin, as you said, you know, commendation is in order, because while you operate within a social media space, meaning YouTube, not like myself who operate on both legs in terms of social media and mainstream media, so I have absolutely no choice than to maintain a particular threshold. You are on YouTube, you could have gone elsewhere otherwise in terms of, you know, the language and so on. But of course, being the trained person you are, because you're studying and school in journalism, many people probably don't know that, but you're schooled and trained in the area. Therefore, you bring the craft to the platform, and indeed, it is noble to speak about, because at time, Colin, we have to make it known that we can communicate. We can communicate whether we are going to be using the Queen's language, or we are going to use our own Jamaican dialect, of which I am so proud. The native tongue. We can communicate without us getting into the gutter and be nasty. We can do that. And that is why I gather that, you know, the space is doing. But Colin, you know, there was a telling discourse on PDTV, and let me hear Andre and his team there.
Big up,
you know, and believe me, he had one of the one of the most famous son of Jamaica's granddaughter, one of his Bob Marley's granddaughter, Miss Pendergrass. And she outlined a lot of things, and let me hail her in a big way for the work that she has done. But you know, Colin, what was telling? She reminded Jamaica and the rest of the world that it was the JLP who went after her grandfather to take him out, or her family. And that is quite telling, Colin. And we know that those things have been mentioned and proven within later years by the CIA et al. Right? So it's quite instructive to hear the granddaughter of Bob Marley come out and said that. And Colin, more and more people are seeing the ills of the Jamaica Labour Party and Andrew Holness, how callous and wicked he and his administration have been to the Jamaican people. I must call a spade a spade. I want to say two quick things before I leave you this morning, Colin. The bloggers, obviously, Andrew Holness, and I'm getting the information from inside, in the belly of the Labour Party. As a matter of fact, I just finished a discussion with someone. And the communique is that the Prime Minister called back all Indian bloggers and everybody. And the person who is basically marshalling that is Abgaf Assembly, right? And that is why you see they are now out and bad and the social media space circling Mrs. Holness and by extension the JLP.
But Obi,
because
Obi, hold on. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
As a man, when somebody says that a woman run her yard and a woman dominate her household, is that a disrespect to the woman?
No.
Who does that disrespect? If you say a woman run her yard and she dominate her home and she control her home, who that disrespect?
It would be the man. It would be the man because obviously
So let me ask you something. Fieval Williams, Kamina Johnson Smith, and Juliet Cuthbert. They missed it.
One. And the other one that Nikisha dismissed.
Nikisha said she don't know whether one they do. Hallelujah. Tell her. Nikisha said Juliet I don't know what she do. Tell her. My understanding, if somebody out the road say my wife or she wear the pants of my yard, I know my wife then this and me then disrespect.
No man, are you mad?
The Bible said the man must be the head of the house. So
absolutely.
How them come to Nikisha dissing Juliet?
Yeah.
It would be Nikisha. Hold on, that would be Nikisha Burchell giving Juliet Holness the crown over Andrew. Is disrespect to the Prime Minister. If Nikisha diss anybody, is the Prime Minister would I get this?
See him, sir, go. What we know, Colin, and certainly me and my father may so rest in peace. I know that a man run the yard, man control, dominate yard, right? And me are the man of my yard. However, we know that the woman, like my mother and of course is the nurturer, nurturer within the home.
Yes.
That's what we know. Listen,
Obi.
You're on point, Colin.
It's like you own your business and you employ a manager. The manager do the day-to-day running. But are you the gargan? Are you wear the crown?
Absolutely.
When it come down to the house, are you wear the pants? So I don't know where these ladies come from. Hey.
Colin, let me tell you something. I won't truncate what I have to say. I'm not going to get into everything. But let me say this. I want to basically just say to the PNP and Jamaica by extension, Mark Jefferson Golden, Marky G, have achieved a lot in his short stint as a leader of the People's National Party. He is able to bring a certain level of unity to the party. He won the local government election by way of getting 7 municipal corporations to the JLP 7 as well, but he has 2 more of a plurality over the Labour Party in terms of the seat count when the dust was settled.
That is where I say he won the election. He win more divisions than the JLP. Yeah. Argument done.
Indeed. So I am saying all of this, Colin, because let me tell you something. If you notice, the narrative is once again creeping in, where the JLP is trying, and they're doing this, they're spending big money to get this done in. They're doing everything to craft a message to say that there's this unity within the party and Mark Gordon can't cut it and things like that. That's the biggest lie out of the pit of hell. Yes.
I'm going to have a call you back because my guest is ready and him have a short time. So I want to take my guest now and then I'll shout you back. All right?
All right. All
Give
the best.
Thanks.
Good.
Give thanks.
Respect. Cool.
Let us welcome the Shadow Minister for National Security and Safety and Community Safety, we call it, and MP Jackson. MP, morning.
Good morning to your listeners and your viewers.
Welcome to PortlandspiceTV, sir.
Thank you.
MP, a lot of things out there, whole heap of things. And I figure your work, even though as Shadow Minister, is really heavy right now. One of the things I want to ask you about, though, a lot of police have been calling me complaining that they're not getting their overtime. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not aware.
That is one of the things.
Sometime in the past, yes, I will talk to the federation.
And also people who work at places like Twickenham Park and them places, say them not get them overtime.
Well, that is unfortunate. Our public sector workers, and in particular our security personnel, who are there to protect us while we sleep, go about our normal lives, ought not to be put in any precarious position in terms of just attending to their own well-being.
Yes.
So that is, while it affects everybody, but I think greater sensitivity have to be placed for those who are on the front line on a daily basis.
All right, beautiful. Let's look at the security of our country. The government is saying that they are doing extremely well. Murders are down. What say you at this point?
Well, Colin, by any stretch of the argument, a reduction in murders is always welcome. It is one that all administrations over the years have sought to grapple with, to minimize the number of deaths per 100, number of deaths per year, all about creating an environment that people can feel safe to go about their normal lives. So crime reduction is not an abstract thing. The numbers coming down is not an abstract thing. It must translate into people feeling safe and be able to go about their lives, whether to go to church, to go to school, to go shopping, and to just walk around and do nothing. People need to feel safe. So I think that is the ultimate measure. The number is only one indication of crime. It is not an indication of safety.
So does the people of Jamaica feel safe, Jackson?
I don't pick that up. People I encounter right across the country, they welcome the crime reduction numbers, but they don't feel safe. They feel in the same mode of unsafety or not safe. But what I think also compounds it is that while there has been the concern of being murdered or being shot or shot at by criminals in you're going about your daily lives, an increasing number of persons are feeling unsafe from the high number of police fatalities that have been occurring in recent times.
What you're saying?
Yes, yes, yes.
But a lot of people are applauding the police, and say, kill the criminal, kill them.
Well, you know, you have to dig a little deeper.
Yes.
When people say kill the criminals, it's because of an inherent presumption that one, not only the person's killed are criminal, but the circumstance under which they are killed is justified. That's an inherent assumption.
Mm-hmm.
Both things are not necessarily true. Note I said not necessarily true.
Right.
And another question arises, which no doubt you'll come to in a moment, but let's defer that of body-worn cameras.
Oh, definitely we'll go into that.
Let's defer that for a couple of minutes. And come back to the whole question of feeling safe and what contribute to them not feeling safe. All of us, including myself, my father was once a district constable.
My father was a blue scene police.
Well, even your father was of higher rank than my father. You know. And I say that deliberately to say that there is no inherent hostility to police when you object to or disagree with any action emanating from a police or a police officer. 1 or 2 or 10 or 20 persons doesn't make for all the police officers. But regrettably, the bad that is done by those small numbers places a stain on the entire force, which is unfortunate. And the same thing applies to politicians. Once you fall under the banner of a politician, you are readily deemed to be dishonest, criminal, and a liar. You know, regrettably too, I have to bear that allegation, as although it's not directed at me, because no one has been able to point to any such action on my part. But I'm a politician.
So they put all politicians in one basket and classes.
Yes. In the same way that when a few police men or women behave in a dishonorable way, it stains the entire police force. So we're not immune to it. And I made that point at a public forum recently. But the whole question of safety, regrettably, it is not where it ought to be, notwithstanding the dramatic and significant reduction in murders. But just that's what it is. Reduction in murders.
But
that's all it is.
Sir Jackson, is there really a reduction? Because if you had the number of people that the police have that have been killed by police,
it's going to
the amount of people killed. So exactly. So if you look at killings and not necessarily class them as murder, but if you look at killings in Jamaica, are we really down?
Well, they are what they are. Over 300 plus last year by the police, and about 600 and something was the murders otherwise. They're just under 1,000.
Right.
This year, you're going up in a similar way, you know. So yes, that is a matter of fact, and not just it being a matter of fact, Colin, but it must be a source of concern. You know why this thing bothers me? And it ties back to what I was saying about feeling safe by the everyday Jamaican. In much the same way that over the years when criminals were killing innocent people and there are citizens in communities who know who these criminals are not willing to speak, right? Until it comes to their doorstep. And then, a lot of them begin to shout and cry, we have a serious crime problem. The same thing holds when you have a number of persons who are being killed at the hands of the police in questionable circumstance, and everybody keep quiet.
But Sir Jackson, what do you say to people who will say to that argument that we are giving information to the police that X is a gunman and Y is a gunman and the police go kill them, so why we not make nice about it? We're giving the police information and the police are killing the gunman them.
You know, information doesn't necessarily mean fact, right? Information in our jurisprudence doesn't mean trial and
Conviction.
and conviction. It doesn't. We live in a jurisdiction which everybody would want to apply to us. But if it were applied to us, it must apply to everybody else.
But you just said that people know who the people them are kill the people them.
No, well, I don't know if your example holds throughout. You might have instances of that, but that is not a constant. That every time an information is given by the police
To the police.
It is in fact, because people tell lie on people too, you know.
I am going to come to that.
Right? People tell lie on people.
Right? A man might just not like you. A man might just not like you, and because him know say if him tell the police say you're a gunman, police are come kill
exactly.
you. Yes, so we're coming to that.
The whole thing about giving information is not that the information is coming out of heaven and it is all righteous and truthful. Information is the starting point for investigation.
Thank you. That is it.
Right? It is the starting point to assist the process of investigation and all else that flow from it. If the you know, quite frankly, Colin, as spokesperson in this period and prior, I have gotten quite a bit of information come to me, you know.
Yes.
And when I dig a little deep, I can't go any further, you know. I can't go any further to all persons responsible or that it is so, because it begins to fall apart when it begin to probe.
Yes.
Information and criminal activities is no different, right? So yes, we urge people to give information to the authorities, and I deliberately say not just the police, but give information to the pertinent authority in respect to any other activity, wrongdoing, whether it is corruption, whether it is fraud, murder, any untoward action. Give the information to the pertinent authorities and for them to be investigated, because everybody must get a fair trial, you know. Everybody who is accused must get the opportunity to prove their innocence.
But MP Jackson,
those allegations.
MP Jackson, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, said that when the police go, you either go and meet a judge or meet your maker. What do you have to say about a statement like that?
Well, you know, the Prime Minister is becoming more and more known for being reckless, careless, or some might even say evil in his pronouncements. Because I would not expect a Prime Minister to make a statement like that.
But Dr. Chang said when the police them shoot, they must shoot. That's we don't have to use up no resources to get no ambulance and take up hospital space.
Well, that is even worse. That is even worse.
So
and that tells us, Colin, the crisis that our country is in. Because when our national leaders, and not just national leaders, but leaders who hold sensitive and important portfolios of national security, overall governance, makes those statements, and many, and perhaps too many people, see it's okay. However, many will get more caught up in a statement made by an MP about the speaker, or whether or not, you know, it tells us what our priorities are. When you have issues of life and death, when you have issues of hardships that people face in their day-to-day lives, hardships in providing food for themselves and their family, hardships in providing and accessing health care and urgent health care services on a daily basis, not on a one-off basis, on a daily basis. For many of us who are members of parliament, we encounter these realities face to face on an ongoing basis. And I'm not talking about statistical reports. I'm talking about live living people who you come in contact with, where you in your own constituency. When those issues are secondary, right, to whether or not standing order is breached and patois is spoken, then it tells us where our priorities are.
But would you be willing to forgive the Prime Minister and the Minister of Security for using those terms based on the fact that they might have been overwhelmed by the numbers of murders that was taking place in the country? I mean, our own Peter Bunting asked for divine intervention.
Well, first of all, the position of governance and governing, being as responsible as they are, requires the office holders to have the requisite composure, steadiness of mind to hold those portfolios. And as the question you asked about forgiveness, the Bible tells us, you can't seek forgiveness if you are not prepared to confess of your sins, right? And have some sort of remorse about that which you have said or done. I've not heard such coming from neither the Prime Minister or the Minister. On the contrary, there's a doubling down on those statements.
MP Jackson, based on those statements from both Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security, and the fact that in his sectorial debate, Minister Chang said that nobody can tell the police what to do, would I be fair in saying that the police not wearing body cameras is a direct instruction from the government of Jamaica that they don't need to? Or the government don't want them to wear any body camera? And let me just say one more thing so I allow you to go. And would it be fair for those of us who strongly believe, that there's a death squad roaming Jamaica, a police death squad roaming Jamaica, ordered by the government of Jamaica?
Let me come to the first point first, and to be very straightforward. The answer to about the government sanctioning the non-use of
body camera.
Body cameras. Straight answer is yes. And I made some remarks recently at the JFJ forum, and I said that explicitly. And let me reiterate another point I made. The opposition of the People's National Party supports and demand the mandatory use of body-worn cameras in operations. That is unequivocal. About the issue of operational decisions, and it ties back to that point I just made. Yes, the Commissioner of Police and its commanders have the responsibility and the authority to make operational decisions. The question of body-worn camera being worn is a policy issue that the government of the day has responsibility for. We set policies in a number of areas. There's policy regarding motor vehicle operation and what the police do, the examiners do, and other persons involved in that sphere of activity. It is not new or unusual that government set policy in order to ensure that certain things don't happen, or to ensure that certain things do happen. And in this case of the body-worn cameras, it is to make sure that there is transparency in the activities of the police officers when they are in contact with citizens, that there is accountability both on the part of the police officers involved and the citizens. Because citizens can tell lie too, and tell lie on the police. It's not every citizen who come and make this claim to one way or the other is necessarily telling the truth. And so the body-worn camera will be able to protect the police against those inaccurate or false accusations. And it, of course, protects the police officer in reinforcing what he or she actually do or did during that encounter with the citizen. So yes, I am of the position it is a policy unstated publicly by the government, because they see these things are happening or not happening, and they have not either instructed or take the necessary steps to cause it to cease. So it's plain and simple. The Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security, notwithstanding what they have said to the contrary, they are in full support of the police not wearing body-worn cameras during the operations. And I stand by that.
MP Jackson, the people of Jamaica looking on. When the minister said that nobody can tell the police what to do, as you explained a while ago, as it relates to operation, but the policy decisions are from the government of Jamaica. What role does the opposition have to play now in protecting the people of Jamaica? Because from where I sit, it's obvious that the government has given a free hand to the police. We saw what happened in Montego Bay, where on camera, a citizen was unalive.
There are basically at least two ways. Two ways I see. One, we had, in terms of what we can do.
Yes.
As an opposition, we can advocate, we can propose, but we can't execute government policies. You have one government at a time. But notwithstanding that, people had the opportunity to make a difference last year, September. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Regrettably, it never happened. And that's why we're talking about many of the things we are talking about. Because I will tell you, a People's National Party administration, whether I was or is the Minister of National Security, and whoever else in that position on behalf of the People's National Party, because we operate as a collective in the People's National Party, would give the policy directives to the Commissioner of Police. It would not be a request on the Commissioner of Police. It would be a policy directive for body-worn cameras to be in operation and planned operations. And if the Commissioner feels uncomfortable about it, he does what every chief executive does. If you believe a policy is untenable and you can't execute it, somebody else does it. It's as plain and simple as that. But the elected government of the day, Colin,
yes,
we have a responsibility to institute policies and programs that, in our judgment, is in the best interest of the population at large.
Fitzjackson, the policeman in Montego Bay, went and stand in front of the vehicle. My understanding is that your training tell you never to do that. Do you believe he put himself in harm's way so as he could do what he did?
Well, you know, Colin, don't worry, complicate the matter. The same video that you talking from, I see it, and thousands, if not millions more, have seen that same tape. And interestingly, we're talking about, I don't think I'm straying away. Interestingly, talking about body-worn cameras a moment ago.
Yes.
Those footage never came from a police body-worn camera.
And hold on, MP Jackson. The policeman is giving a story of what he said to Bujo, and people are giving a story of what he said to Bujo. Had he have on him body camera, we would have
all
heard
of that would
exactly
have been recorded.
What was said.
So this argument about whether you should or not, and as I've said before elsewhere, this Latoya Bulgin case is not any other case, because it highlights some critical things that some people are running away from, are trying to run away from. That the cameras in the vicinity that capture those images refute their argument.
Yes.
There are many people who feel that if it wasn't for that camera, what you would get
as former
commissioner
Lewin
Lewis said at a forum we were at recently, you'd get the standard response. The police was attacked.
Yes.
Police pulled up her arm in defense, and the person was shot and killed. It's a standard line. It's what you hear every time. It's a worn argument. It's a worn argument.
MP Jackson, is there any truth that our police officers are being trained by Israelis?
I can't verify that.
Have you ever heard it before?
I've heard it before. I can't verify it, but I wouldn't dismiss it.
Would it be a concern to you if that found out to be true?
Well, anything the Israelis security people is of concern to me.
Why
knowing
so?
what I know that takes place in Gaza.
Oh.
Tell me something. What would you, if you're a minister or prime minister in Jamaica during the apartheid rule in South Africa, would you have invited the South African apartheid government to train your people?
Absolutely not. But
Okay.
Fitz Jackson, with that same question, there are Israelis in Jamaica giving counsel to our children. I've not heard the opposition said anything about that.
Well, I don't want to stereotype Israelis as a people.
But they were sent by the government.
There's a big difference between the Israeli government, how it operates, and Israeli citizens. Because as you know, there's a very strong Israeli opposition in Israel.
Yes.
Against much of what the government is doing. So let me be clear. This is not a stereotyping of all Israelis. Personally, I know a number of Israelis here in Jamaica, right, that I could never in my wildest dream associated anything like what I see take place by the Israeli military and security forces in Gaza. So that distinction must be made. In much the same way, that we have some Jamaicans that we are not proud of.
That is true. But the next question, but those people though, who would have been sent here to give counseling to our children, would have been sent by the Israeli government. And my argument is that why is our government in bed with the Israeli government based on all the atrocities that we are aware of?
Well, that is an unfortunate foreign policy position and practice by the government, right? What we normally do in order to reinforce the position we take, principal position,
yes,
on many issues, is how we retain the relationship with the government or not at any point in time, right? And in light of what the Israeli government has been involved in, I don't think it is in the interest of Jamaica to be identified with the government, but we will surely identify with the people of Israel.
Aircraft carrier, U.S. aircraft carrier, will be coming to Jamaican waters. My information is that it will be docked in Kingston sometime next week. Are you concerned that might be, or are you aware of it? One, and
I've heard of it.
Are you concerned that it might be something to do with Cuba?
Well, I will not support any military action, preparatory or in execution, against the people and government of Cuba. Let me make that unequivocally clear. Anything towards that not only will not get my support, but will not get my sympathies either. And that is non-negotiable.
Fitz Jackson, the Firearm License Authority has been flagged by the Integrity Commission. A report was submitted to the Parliament on the 30th of March. That report has not been tabled, and the reason given by the Speaker or the President of the Senate is that it is in the court and the leader of government business in the House also. The court ruled yesterday. The court denied the request by the FLA, but gave them permission to appeal. What would you say to the Jamaican people should happen now, or do you expect that the report will be tabled next Tuesday?
Well, I put it this way. I expect due process to prevail. Right? The law says that the IC does an investigation, and if it has matters to report to the Parliament, it so submit that report, and the Speaker and the President of the Senate lay those reports in the respective houses. It's as simple as that. Now, from time to time, the reports, what is contained in the reports might be contested. And remember, I don't know what is in the report. I only know the entity that it relates to, right? I don't know what is the report. I can't comment on the content of it.
Right.
Some of the reports have egregious things in it, and some are not egregious. Some are, like, for example, failure to submit a report when it is due, right? It's an administrative failure. And I remember when the law was being developed, one of the reasons on it is to cause us members and other public servants to take the law seriously and don't just ignore it and don't file. So there is a consequence to just not filing. And there are persons on both sides of the aisle, and many public servants have run afoul of such breaches. Not breach of dishonesty, not breach of unaccountable wealth, which is really what the Integrity Commission is all about. Sometimes we get caught up in just the abstract of the integrity report rather than really what it is seeking to do. Is that we in public offices, right, don't use our position for personal enrichment. That's essentially what we try to do. So it doesn't say you can't make money or can't have a lot of money, but you must demonstrate that you have legitimately come in possession of that money. So you could be a multi-billionaire or trillionaire. The IC and the law doesn't prohibit or forbid that. All it says, what you have, show us and justify that you got it by legitimate means. It's not nobody pass some money under the counter.
Or is not nobody going to lodge $4 million to your account?
And nobody going to lodge $4 million, and you can't say what is the source of the $4 million.
And you can't say who lodge it.
And you can't say who lodge it.
That's a question.
That's all it is, So if they come to me and say them find monies in my accounts or what, and I don't provide sufficient information as to how I come about it, it's incumbent upon me to demonstrate that. It don't mean that the money is illegitimate. It means that I can't. Why is it? If it's legitimate, meaning it comes from a particular source, point to the sources.
Yeah.
And they confirm it.
There's something that I should have asked you about the Israeli that slipped me. The Israeli, what do they have to do with the EOJ and our electoral system?
I don't know. And I would hope they have nothing to do with it.
Is this the first time you have been asked about them involving in our electoral system?
I hear some whispers on the street, Colin. I can't tell you I never hear that. And I ask questions of some persons within, and they have been denied. But the denial don't mean that it is actually so.
But isn't this something that the PNP should ensure? Should make some effort to
I have a strong interest in that for more reasons than one. Foremost amongst them, I want to make sure that the democratic process that we have in Jamaica is immune from corruption, right? I want to make sure that someone who comes into parliament as a member of parliament come through the express will of the voters in that constituency.
Right.
And as a member of parliament, I too have something personally at stake. Because if them use a system to cause me to lose my seat illegitimately, it obviously is of concern to me. So yes, to answer your question, I have concerns about it. And I am hoping that our people and the Electoral Advisory Commission, through whatever audits and so forth, that we will seek to have the commission pursue, that will be done. You know, Colin, as you mentioned about EOJ, although you invite me to the program and not me invite myself to say what I want to say, but I am going to crave your privilege. You know, yesterday, we had the first meeting with the EOJ and this whole Portmore Parish rubbish that the government has come up with, which is nothing more than, as I've said before and I repeat, is a gerrymandering exercise, which is so regrettable. You know, we see it manifested in a barefaced way in the United States now, and everybody condemning it. But not many people in Jamaica is condemning the gerrymandering taking place in Jamaica, right? By way of this parish thing for Portmore. But the point I really want to mention is that yesterday, we had the first meeting called by the EOJ to sensitize the political leaderships at various levels, MPs, caretakers of constituencies and divisions in the areas to be affected. And it was interesting. The court struck down, I'll put it this way, the court stopped the government from bringing into force the law that they used their majority to pass in Parliament, in the lower house and in the Senate, and have it assented by the GG and gazetted, but had not yet been put into force at a date set by the minister as is required. And so that is where it has been stopped.
Right.
It being stopped there, it's not law. It's an intended law.
Yes.
But it's not law. It doesn't exist and have no force. When the court ruled that you can't bring that law into force because it violates the Constitution, it violates the Constitution because the proposed boundaries will cause constituencies to span two parishes.
Yes.
The new parish that you're creating and the existing St. Catherine parish. So it's a clear case of breach. So the court shut it down. The government says to the court, oh yes, judge, we see that it would be in breach of the Constitution. And so we are going to fix it. Oh, by the way, judge, we never really intend to bring it into force until it comply with the Constitution, which is hogwash. Because you never hear that pronouncement about what they are going to do to overcome that constitutional barrier. So the court ruled out. The government and Madam Speaker hurriedly called a meeting of the Boundaries Committee of Parliament. By the way, the Boundaries Committee of Parliament, which is a committee established in the Constitution, not through standing orders or legislation. The Constitution establishes the Boundaries Committee, which is to make recommendation on any changes to constituency boundaries from time to time to keep the constituency sizes and so forth in line with what the limits are for constituency sizes. So the committee is the one that leads that process. But they were so drunk in their gerrymandering pursuit that they never think much about what they were doing. So they call the committee out. All of a sudden, I'm on that committee.
Yeah.
Out of the blue, they convene a meeting and say to the committee and to the EOJ that they invited, look, the court has ruled that this law needs to be in compliance with the Constitution. EOJ, go and prescribe the boundaries now for the constituencies and the divisions so that it can conform to the Constitution. And the EOJ that is set, trying to be faithful and obedient to the instructions of the Committee of Parliament set out on this exercise. So yesterday, I asked the commissioner and the chairman, all these boundaries that you are trying to establish now in keeping with the directives from the Boundaries Committee, when will they come into force? Director made it clear, no new constituency boundary can come into place until the next election. The next election, of course, is 2030, or if held earlier. So that is one. Number two, and this is where the EOJ has been put in a contorted position by the Boundaries Committee. It says realign constituency boundaries in keeping with this law that we intend to have. But guess what? The EOJ is referring to the parish of Portmore, in which they are fitting constituency boundaries. There is no parish of Portmore in Jamaica.
Exactly that.
So how can you set boundaries in a parish that don't exist? So this, so I sat there yesterday, Colin, and I was smiling all the way from the beginning to the end. And I said to the director, it's a grand waste of time. Because you cannot set boundaries for a parish
that does not exist.
Prior to now, the Boundaries Committee have been adjusting constituencies within the parishes of Jamaica. And the parishes that we have are 14 parishes.
Yes.
Some have as low as 2, which the Constitution says the minimum. Right? And
Portland have 2.
Portland have 2. Hanover have 2.
Yes.
St. Thomas has 2. Trelawney has 2. Right? Now, that was a big joke. This is what the whole corrupt thinking of this government is subjecting public servants to, and the use of scarce national resources in their corrupt gerrymandering pursuit. They are engaging the EOJ in this exercise. How can you set parish constituency boundaries within a parish that does not legally exist?
But is it that they are using the what the government give to them?
Hold on, Colin. The government, the parliament, the prime minister, the speaker, committees of parliament are all subservient to the Constitution of Jamaica.
But Fitzjackson, let me ask you this. The Prime Minister of Jamaica, how many times have he found to be breaching the Constitution of Jamaica?
I think he finds himself more in breach than in compliance.
But in any self-respecting democracy, is that tenable when you know the oath? I guess you have taken this oath many a times. And a part of the oath says you swear to, or he affirms, right? To uphold and defend the Constitution. Am I correct in my quote?
Yes. But he acts in breach of it.
But is that tenable?
But Colin, that's the point I'm making. What you just said, it is not an opinion of Colin Bell. That which you said that I concur with is not my opinion. It is the facts. So if the person don't like me or don't like you, it's of no moment. Are you disliking the facts? Are you disliking the truth? If such is the case, you have a problem, not me. And you must sort out the problem that you have. Colin, the level of corruption, both in transactions and in governance, is moving this country more and more to the precipice. And regrettably, too many of us are sitting and accepting this while the country drifts to that brink of the precipice. We must seek to pull it away from there.
I know you have an appointment. I have 2 final questions for you. This is not one of them. How long have you been an MP? Been a MP?
July coming will be 32 years.
32 years.
Yes.
The Prime Minister said Jamaica got more cash donation for Gilbert than for Melissa. Is that true?
I don't have the numbers at my fingertip to challenge them on numerical terms, but one thing we do know, as the Auditor General has confirmed, is that while people across, particularly in Western Jamaica, who live through hardship on a daily basis, 24/7, week after week, month after month, the Prime Minister and the government sit on resources at Jamaica House and allow the people to continue their suffering. That is a fact. That is not a debatable issue. The government has had resources at its disposal to be used to ease the hardship of the people, and they have instead stumbled over themselves out of incompetence or whatever other reasons and allow the people's suffering to continue unimpeded. That by itself would be a basis of all the relevant ministers to resign, if not the Prime Minister himself.
What? Resign? My final question to you, MP Jackson. Nara, the bill has been passed. The CEO is now Anthony and Ambassador Anthony Anderson. What are your views?
Well, as the opposition has said repeatedly from the outset, when you have a legislation, when you have a system of governance and of practice, because NARA is an entity that will do things or see to things being done. When you have something constructed with major flaws, you're going to end up with flawed outcomes. So, for example, the process of selection in respect to its transparency and the architecture for accountability, the arrangement for accountability is found wanting. You're going to end up with persons who are improperly there. So the ambassador is the result of a defective process and system. That's what you have. No, he has not started. I think it's the 1st of June. I mean, what? Our 1st of July.
It will start on Monday. 1st of June.
On Monday, the 1st of June, it will start. So we can't speak to how he does the job. But I am saying here, and I will say, he has gotten and taken a position in an improper way. And he now becomes complicit with that improper practice. It's as simple as that.
MP Jackson, is there anything fine?
And he has in so doing, I believe, compromised himself.
Wow. Is there anything final you want to say to my listeners and viewers?
A lot more we can say, but time won't allow it now. But I think we have access to each other.
So we will talk. Blessings, my brother. Thanks for the time. One love. Be safe.
All the best to you and your listeners.
Yes, man. Listeners and viewers, that was Member of Parliament and Shadow Minister of National Security, Fitz Jackson. And let me say to, hold on, let me go back and look. If a Pauline Mullins your name or Paulette Mullins. Mullins. Fitz Jackson has been MP for 32 years, and I've never been accused of stealing anything. All his statutory filing have been certified. Take that and put that. Pauline Mullins. Fitz Jackson has been MP for 32 years, and we have never heard his name in taking charity money to buy stocks and bonds for himself. We never hear that yet. Yeah? So, put that in your pipe and go smoke it. But why you don't pick up the phone and call me? My number is 1-876-804-7072. Pick up your phone and give me a call. Pearline Mullins. Make we hear if you talk from your mouth or if you talk from another place. Junior, morning.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I am fine, thank you, my brother.
I heard the interview with Mr. Fitz Jackson.
Yes.
And you realize we have always been saying to you that we have a problem with the EOJ in the Prime Minister's office.
Well, I never asked him about the Prime Minister office because somebody take up my pen off of my desk, you know. And I don't know who took up my pen, so I couldn't write down some of the things then when I remember them.
Come on, so, you can't remember everything.
But I asked him about the Israelis. And I think it's something that we need a definite answer from the PNP from because they have too much at stake to not know.
No. The program on target, you know.
Yes.
The program you're having is on target. Yeah, yes. Because something. The issue with Nikita Burton, right? We hear 3 new parliamentarians get up and them attacking her.
Them not new.
Right?
Them not new.
No, we haven't said new because them never used to talk.
Oh, yes.
So recently them get some level of verbosity. That's how I go. Right.
Yes.
Favorite part in slow motion, you know. So we not hear your opinion yet because I reach our hearing because it take about a week or two.
So fear argument still coming on the way.
No, yeah. It don't reach yet. But every time we see Nikisha Burton, remember one song what them used to sing. You remember 10 out of 10?
Yeah, man. 10 out of 10. Yeah, man.
10 out of 10. Aye. And you them say, them theater for your shape.
Yes. Yes.
You remember?
Yes.
And everybody have a problem with their bumper.
Hey. You see your shape you get married for?
Aye. No. Them can't hear.
Hold on, Junior.
For that, you know.
Hold on, Junior. Hear that idiot here. Hold on.
And they have a lady that running up and down all over the place. And it's only 3 B's I hear them talking about in respect to the lady. 1 B is that she named Burton. And that is the good B. But the other 2 B's, and I see them advertise it on their own platform, is round the back, and the one round the front, and all of that.
Well, hold on. Let me tell Charles Sinclair that for real men, straight men, those are the 2 B's are real B's for us. Because we like those B's and ladies. Round the back, up front, we love them. But it sounds like Charles Sinclair have a problem. Him not like them, they be there. Him not like the breast and the bumper. Charles Sinclair, what is wrong with you? We love breasts. We love ladies' breasts. Tell her.
Let me answer Charlie Colin.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Let me answer Charlie, right? Charlie and me used to go to school together, you know.
Oh, for real?
And right, we went to Cornwall.
Okay.
And we never hit Mount Alverna girls.
We never hit them.
So there is no way a Cornwall boy can eat a Mount Alverna girl.
But
remember saying Nikisha, a Mount Alverna should go, you know.
But maybe Charlie changed since that. Maybe Charlie changed since that, Junior. You never know.
You're right. It changed.
When you get into that GLP, clan or whatever them call it, that GLP gang, whole heap of things have to change about it, you know. You remember the man on Nigel Clark? When the man tell Nigel Clark which party he see him?
Yes.
Oh, Tala, up on Mr. Hughes. Tala. Maybe, I wonder if Charles go up on Mr. Hughes a party.
But we don't know what everything about Charlie gone AY.
But Charlie says only one good B and it's the Burchell. Charlie said the B run a front and the B run a back. Hallelujah.
All right.
Go ahead, Junior. Talk. Yes.
Charlie needs to remind the in-tree friend them that what you have run at the back, she never go buy that to them.
Oh.
She born with it.
Oh.
You understand?
Oh.
The other thing, right?
Mm.
The man was in charge of Nara. You remember antecedents?
Tell me, remind me.
Remember, I said that was the man that did love state of emergency, you know.
Oh yes, man. Yes. That was the worst security minister we have commissioner we have ever had.
Right. That was the minister of security, what take away rights. He was also responsible for the criminal police them now. Because I train them, you know.
Oh?
All the police them will get problem on the road now. I train them.
How you say? Never know.
Yes, it was commissioner of police most of the time during the training of them police, you know, when Jamaica have state of emergency.
Okay.
When no rights. So you put the same man in charge of taking away your land now. So you take away your rights, take away your life, and now you come for your land.
You come for your land now. Yes. Junior, hey, you're the best, you know, Junior. Junior saying take away your rights, then you take away your life, then you take your land. Hallelujah. You're the best.
The last thing we have to talk about the economy every time we come.
Yes, of course.
Because we know that this is the class that teach everybody about how the economy is and how the economy is not.
Yes, man. This is the financial university around here.
Right. What is happening over Portmore with Megamart locking down?
Oh, that would be a revelation. Junior, did anybody on this platform tell the people that people are going to start losing their work and business are going to start lockdown? Anybody did tell anybody on this platform here that? Ralston, the professor.
Ralston, the soothsayer.
Told us.
You remember?
Yes.
Right. Now, Colin, if Megamart never rebuild in a Montego Bay, Megamart, they in the middle of 5 are the largest community in a Montego Bay, and they never build back after the hurricane, right?
Yeah.
5 are the largest domicile population in a Montego Bay.
In St. James. That would be in St. James, not just Montego Bay.
They not build back, right? Now, Portmore, however, about 500,000 people. What about Portmore?
Portmore is the largest domicile community in the English-speaking Caribbean. Not just in Jamaica.
Megamart are locked down.
Well, when Ralston coming can go into the finer detail, but me can tell you why them are locked down. Enough money now make. Nobody close a business that is profitable and making good money.
Colin, an economy is like a penis, you know.
It's like a what?
The economy is like a penis.
Oh, what that mean? It have to stand up?
No. If you don't stimulate an economy, it can't grow.
Rally morning.
Rally morning.
Morning.
Junior, they are crack up. Junior said the economy is like a penis. If you don't stimulate it, it can't stand up.
No.
Rally. Well, Rally
They
gone
lick
already.
him out like usual. Every time Rally come on, then lick him out.
Hey, God.
I just plan. Anyway, we could talk before Rally 15, because we know we have got class.
Yes.
But the economy is like a penis.
Mm.
If you don't stimulate it, it can't stand up.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we have always been saying, and everybody should know, agriculture and construction drive an economy. Right?
We're listening.
And
Energy too.
when the economy and energy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
about
if
now,
you
Colin.
don't put
Yes, we are
something-
here, your Rally.
If you don't put something in place, the economy can grow. You don't put something in and stimulate the penis, you can't have erection. Right? So you need something to have the growth in the economy.
Yeah, man.
Just like how you need the growth in the penis for it to have any use.
Yes.
Let me talk how people can understand.
Yes.
You know what happened to the Jamaican economy now, Colin? The Jamaican economy is suffering from head.
Suffering from head.
Head, erectile dysfunction. Right?
Junior?
Yes, Mr. Colin, how you doing now?
Rally, yeah, listen, Junior, Rally.
Right?
Yeah, man.
The economy is suffering from erectile dysfunction. There is no aggregate demand. Nothing to stimulate growth.
Little more, Junior. Little more. Hold on the head, boy. Rally morning. Welcome.
Yeah, morning. How you doing?
First things first, Rally. Why Mega Mart close?
Well, we could go back to what Junior said before. We'll put it in a technical way. So I'm just telling people in a certain way what that means. In our economics, it means the total economy is C plus I plus G plus X minus M, where C is the amount of money that the people spend on consumption, toilet paper, flour, sugar, rice, drinks, that.
Yes.
I are the money where the investors spend.
Yes.
And G are the money where the government spend.
Yes.
You follow me? When
So
you
C
have a
plus
recession
I
and the
plus
consumers
G.
now G plus X minus M. X minus M, what we call a trade deficit.
Okay.
So if the people who spend money now have no money to spend because them salary weak or inflation eat out them spending power. And investors say them not invest because of corruption, high interest rates and all kind of something. And the government now spend because them say them want to manage debt. And if you continue to import more than you export, then the economy must decline. So we do not talk about now the stimulus. The government is the one who should provide the stimulus. You follow me? Because consumers now have money, investors now invest, and when they want to invest, you give them paper so that you can collect more money from them without adding value. It means that you must stimulate the economy. Based on the damage we buried, though, 12.2 billion, we need 9 billion US to spend over the next 3 years with a multiplier in order to get back there where we were before. You follow me? So the government have the responsibility to spend that money. Now going back to Mega Mart, why Mega Mart closed down? The same thing. Consumption. Consumption dropped from 78% of the economy in 2024 to 75% in 2025. So consumers have less money to spend. Higher inflation means that less money are buy less. The retail sector was the most competitive sector, 14% of GDP, $483 billion. So it means margins are thin. Mega Mart find themselves in a situation where gas and say consolidate because people are buying nothing and him not see any long-term plan to get us out of where we are.
And simply, Mega Mart not making the kind of profit that they would love to see, so them close.
Simple. Yes, and him say a consolidation in Japan because nothing now go on.
Before we go to Ed Boy, just give us a roundup of what happened this week in the Jamaican economy.
What more this week? I'm more mapping up on liquidity. Central Bank map up almost 60 billion in liquidity this week. And again, the exchange rate $158 and change, so that wasn't bad. And the government entered the market for borrow like $10 billion with treasury bills and benchmark investment loans in order to fund the budget. So the government has sap up all of the resources out of the economy and they stimulate the economy and the Bank of Jamaica map up liquidity so the economy can't go forward. They might make the recession worse.
So the government not stimulating the economy and they are also taking private sector money to ensure that private sector don't stimulate the economy neither.
Yeah, man. So they manage that. Yeah.
What does that equal to?
That's
no
what,
stimulation.
That's what causing us to be. That is what causing us to be in the state where we are, and it's going to prolong the recession unless them start reverse what them do. We need a reversal of policies. So the central bank take out money out of the system, prevent consumption and prevent investments. The government take out money out of the system. Central banks them manage inflation. Government them manage debt. Nobody now manage growth. All those things are being done at the expense of growth.
Let's go to Head Boy. Head Boy, morning and welcome.
Hi, morning, Shaka. Morning, Ralston.
Yes, sir. Morning.
You know, I am looking at the the appointment of the head of NARA. Yeah.
Yes.
And the journalists in Jamaica need to do their homework. Do you know who is the wife of the head of NARA?
No, who?
It's one of the Enzels. Yeah?
One of the Enzels?
Yes, in Treasure Beach.
So what that mean?
Okay.
Let me get exactly to where I'm going. If any project comes to NARA, I'm asking a question. If any project comes to NARA from Treasure Beach, yeah, possibly a movie or a film project, will the head of NARA remove himself?
Well, that is a kind of administrative accountability thing, Edward, because anybody, if Colin to get head of NARA and me to get head of NARA, would have a wife too. So that cannot be just used as a reason why I shouldn't be there. What is now is the mechanism of accountability in order to ensure that him take care himself, because anybody who had the thing would have a wife too.
Right. But that Ralston, that accountability was one of the critical things that the opposition was about.
Which is
the accountability and transparency is not there.
Right. So it is not about the head, it's about the accountability and the transparency inherent in the system.
The other point I want to raise, Colin and Raleigh, is I listened to an interview with Conrad O'Brien and former Minister of Energy Philip Paulwell.
Yes.
And Paulwell made a damning allegation that he is of the view, which I've been sharing here for a while, that Petrojam is going to be divested and it is going to be sold to private interests.
Well, that was a recommendation. That was one recommendation of the Zaka committee, which was appointed by the former Prime Minister Bruce Golan. So it seems that these fellows are now going to implement it, which would be a very bad decision in this environment.
Hold on,
so come back to the head.
Hey boy, hold on. Somebody just put in the chat room, the Treasure Beach Airdrome is being proposed for development. No, I saw that. And I saw that. And no, head boy, hold on. You hear that, Raleigh?
Yeah, man. But that must still have said to you, say, that alone can disqualify him from the position.
No, we're not saying it disqualify him, Raleigh, but now that we're looking at, because NARA will be doing private projects as well. And we are of the opinion that this NARA thing going to see a whole heap of corruption, cronyism, and nepotism. And like Peter Bunting says, if every appointment comes back to the same person, there's an issue. Remember, this man was the security advisor to the Prime Minister. Then him turned.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Hold on now. That's the point me I make. So it don't have to do with the Hensels. My objection to the whole thing is the militarization and the closeness to the Prime Minister. That is my problem with the appointment.
Exactly.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
But so I was
part of the world.
No. So
hold on,
made the point.
Hold on, Ed boy. Finish your point, Raleigh.
A part of the whole push towards the militarization of the society, which are the fundamentals of a dictatorship. Get what I said to you? I would know the closeness between Anderson and the Prime Minister from a long time. Get what I said to you?
And then put NARA
in the mix. Yeah. And NARA is more about economics, yeah? And I'm not so sure Major Anderson know anything about economics. So I moved from National Security Advisor, Police Commissioner, Ambassador, which is a big stretch from them position that you move from there to become an ambassador and back from ambassador to head of NARA. Yeah? So that's the problem we have. Yep.
Hold on there, head boy. Raleigh, are you aware of, is there any truth to the Minister of Social Security asking the Finance Minister to refund the money that was put into the Solidarity Fund? Because $770 million gone back to the Consol Fund. Are you aware that?
No, I'm not aware of that. But all of those things are part of the whole stimulus that we're talking about, cause the economy to be stifled. If them spend them money there and fully inject them money there, the economy would be in a better position. So those are fundamental economic errors. They're not just minor things. Them things, they are big errors. Yeah, that is causing us to be in the position that we are in now. Yep. Back to the whole thing about energy. Another reason why the energy is so important. The other part of the equation we're talking about, X minus M. The cost of energy I want a big drain while we run these massive trade deficits. So we need to get our energy policy right. You follow me? Because those things are draining the economy. We're spending no foreign exchange for buy energy, running trade deficits. But the energy that we are using now generate the exports to pay for that energy. You follow me?
So we're not using it in a way that we can earn back from it.
No, and it costs us a whole lot. So we need to get anything we need energy sector, we need to get it right as part of the way to drive the growth of the economy. You can't drive the growth of the economy without getting the energy sector right. So the discussion is appropriate.
So, Raleigh, hold on. Before I go back to Ed Boy, stay with me. That money that you remember the 11.4 billion, Raleigh?
Yeah, man.
The tax give back?
Yeah, man.
How much of that money was spent? I want to hear nothing about it. How much of that money was really taken?
Well, the tax department said that was maximized. I'm actually did the amount projected for.
Oh, so everybody get it? The whole
man.
Done? What?
Yeah, man.
How will you say? Go ahead, Ed Boy.
Yeah, but you get me, remember, you're why that would have been different. You're why that would be different. Yeah. This money where them never bother for collect. Yeah, so them get a tax rebate. When them for spend money is a different thing. So two side, yeah. So it not got to them. Maybe if it got to them, they would have hold on upon it like how them hold on upon the solidarity money. You follow me?
Oh.
This I think when I come in at them coffers, I think where them take before it going at them coffers, because the tax department get back to the people and before it reach them. And what if you understand what I said the mechanism? Yeah.
Yes, so it never got to the Consol Fund.
No. Because if it go in the site now, come out back.
Okay. Go ahead, Ed Boy.
Yeah.
Right. As I wrap up, I was referring to another point because Mr. Paul will raise another issue, which really you have been championing. He said that what the Jamaicans should do in colloquial terms is sing a Sankey, right? Light a candle and go back to Venezuela and ask them for the rights to purchase crude. The reason for it is that Petrojam was designed for the specific crude
coming out of
Venezuela produces, which is sour crude.
But how would you want to divest Petrojam now, Raleigh, when there's a possibility of Jamaica finding oil?
And it's a very important resource, and you have refining capacity. You can't give up your refining. That's why I'm telling the man, them don't know what they do. A damn little thing them I tell about. Look where I go in the world. So you never even have to do economics to study that. And if you watch the world, you have to say that is a bad decision.
But you're on the threshold of finding oil, and you're thinking about giving up your refinery?
No, where should I think was to expand your refinery?
Hold on, Ed Boy. Go ahead, Raleigh.
You should have thought about to expand the refinery so that they become more efficient. You don't have to send the thing or somewhere else to refine it. You now get no money. You now add no value.
No. Are you going to put it in private hands, or is it that they're setting up somebody, or they're setting up a company, Raleigh, that they might be a part of, that they're going to make billions?
Maybe, but that wouldn't be beneficial in the nation's interest, and that is why I'm saying to you.
Raleigh, who tell you that they are taking care of the nation's interest? You know, so say another nation's interest.
But I'm saying to you that the nation must take care of its interests. So the people in the country must become more interested in these things and follow it and raise it like how head boy raise it and like how we raise it. Because I'm saying to you, the cost of energy is one of the biggest reasons why we are poor. Because the amount of money we get from exports can't pay for the energy bill alone. Yeah? So you need to fix that bill. No. So you need to fix that bill there if you want to get rich. So you have to fix your energy sector. You can't escape that if you want to get rich. Or if you want to stop the recession. Because I'm never talking about get rich.
Hold on the rally. Hold on, head boy. Obi, come in.
I Raleigh, Colin,
yeah,
head
man,
boy,
blessings.
good morning.
Hey, blessings, Obi.
Listen, head boy, I'm delighted that you raised the point about that interview that I did with spokesperson Paul Well. And you know, I can't do all of the work for the PNP. And the PNP has to do the work for itself. That interview, and I sent it to the person who I think is in charge of communication for the PNP, Tara, right? And I am somewhat amazed that I have not seen the party cut that interview and have it distributed all over the place, because I think that spokesperson Paul Well was quite clinical on my program on Sleep 93 FM. And I'm not saying this because I did the interview, but certainly it speaks volume. As a matter of fact, there's also another thing that he said there. He went to the edge directly, and he said that the government should either use the hedge for the purpose that it was designed for, or to suspend it. And as Colin have always said, and yourself, Raleigh, anyway, that at this time, with the high price of oil at this time, you would not be able to go back into the market with hedge. So therefore, do the other thing, suspend it so that you give the transport operator, give the people a break, and in particular, the public transport operator that is now breathing down the back of the government for an increase that will basically have to be absorbed by the commuters who are the most vulnerable. You know?
All right.
So it's quite telling.
Right. You know, and I agree with Conrad, but for Colin and Ralston and Conrad, as I go, you know, you raised a very important point,
Yes,
Colin. And I raised that point with you about a month or two ago when I said to you that the minister is conflicted, and nobody have to tell me that the minister is conflicted in the Ministry of Energy. If your financier, your political financier, is one of the largest gas and distributor seller in Jamaica, what do we expect? I said to you, not because I am cooling, it doesn't mean that I like the Oasis. Yeah? And I am saying to you that we know who is going to purchase Petrojam. But it's not their first attempt at attempting to buy Petrojam, They did so with a conglomerate from Trinidad. And it was rejected by Minister Philip Paulwell.
Hold on, Raleigh, Trinidad had a refinery? Because somebody's saying Trinidad made the same mistake.
Yeah, man, I shut it down, man.
No refineries in Trinidad.
Hold on, Ed boy. I know it's costing them a lot. Go ahead,
Raleigh.
They
shut it down. Them shut it down.
And that's why they had to be buying the finished product from Jamaica now.
Yeah, man. Them get poorer. So that's why them get poorer.
But how do you have oil and shut down your refinery? That make any sense?
No. Colin, the issue with Trinidad, I could explain. The issue with Trinidad's refinery. So they have the point 14 refinery, which is one of the biggest refinery they have down there. They have been running the refinery for many years, but the refineries take a lot of money to maintain. Yeah. And also you have to update and change. When they shut it down, right? They were not. You still have to run things through the refinery to keep it going, even but not operate. Yeah,
man.
And so what happened? The government could no longer maintain. To keep the systems going, and that's what destroyed it. So most of the pumps and everything over there destroyed. Okay. It's gonna take them how much to build out a refinery? Anywhere between $500 million US to $1 billion, just for an ordinary, maybe 20 or 30,000 barrel refinery, Yeah?
But it's finish your thought, Ed boy.
So it's gonna be what we missed And this is why I am so adamant that we are stupid. Because if we had maintained the relationship with the Venezuelans in the sense of having their technical expertise to continue to build out the refinery in Jamaica, we would have been the largest distributors of refined products in the Caribbean. There is no refinery operating except a small one in Santo Domingo. None.
All right,
So
Edward.
Petrojam was the sole refinery operating for the last 10 years in the English-speaking Caribbean.
All right, brother.
Anyway, gentlemen, let me yield and Governor a chance to continue.
One
All right. Blessed,
Raleigh, before I
blessed.
go back
One
to
love.
OB, speak to us a little bit about Petrojam and its importance to Jamaica.
Well, as I said, one of the biggest thing that we pay for, I'll put it simple, in terms of foreign exchange is oil. You follow me? The
Yes.
money that we get from all our merchandise exports can't pay the oil bill. So Petrojam is important as a refinery in the country. Yeah. So that is why there was a plan with the previous administration to expand the refinery from 35,000 barrels per year to 70,000 barrels per year. Right.
Double.
So as we say, we could have earned double the capacity with the Venezuelan, structured for Venezuelan crude. So we'd have a lower oil bill and would have generate more money from oil. Now, globally, we have a problem because the Middle East, most of those facilities now come back on stream till 5 years times, 10 years times, because most of them get leaked out, right?
Yeah.
So it is one that be foolish to assume, say, if the war done tomorrow, oil price are going to just plummet and everything are going all right. You follow me? Every time there's a headline, they're going to have a problem with oil. So energy, something like Petrojam, now that you have discovered oil and you feel like you discover oil, and given the general situation in the world, you should have expand your refining capacity, given that the situation that shut down theirs. You should have done that. So Petrojam extremely important to economic growth because energy are one of the biggest constraints to economic growth.
Tell me this. What would be the difference if we lose Petrojam, stop buying crude and start have to buy finished product?
That'll cost you more, man.
About how much more?
Well, we can't tell you because that's a down the road thing in terms of the price and how the
But
people who will eat more, man. Will eat more, man. Cause it means that the private sector and the refiners them will have you as hostage right now, and you will not earn a foreign exchange from Petrojam.
Let me make OB wrap up and then I take some more calls. OB, go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah, and that will hit us primarily, Raleigh, as it relates to the price that we pay at the pump. Because remember that a number of other things that is being done is done by the LNG. So if we should close Petrojam, we will certainly be suffering in a big way. You know, there's also something that spokesperson Energy Paul raised last Sunday, when he talked about the throughput in terms of the pricing mechanism, and is as a result of him calling out to say, listen, we were at a threshold that we should not be putting on the $4.50 per week on it, and that is why we got the 25 cents reduction on Thursday. All of those things he outlined in a very, very clinical way. I'm going to run, Colin, but I want to say that in that, before you go, in that interview, I also put it to Philip, the argument that is thrown around, for what it's worth, that the Prime Minister and Major General Anderson, they are close blood relatives, they are cousins. And I put it to Philip, if you think that we should have that disclosure, and he said, indeed, it should. It would not hurt. And what do you guys think? Do you think the Prime Minister should say to the country, yes, we are cousin, or no, we're not cousin?
That disclosure should be made. But we'll talk.
Good. All right,
man.
all the best.
1-876-804-7072. Morning. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. We have the professor, the world's greatest, on the line, Ralston Iman. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
And Ralston, I'm glad to get more time on this portal. You can remember back in the 70s, you can't stop me anytime I say it's rubbish I talk it. In the 70s, the refinery was taken over by Mandy, correct? From ESO.
By who?
By Mandy from ESO.
No, it was taken over by Mr. Siaga from ESO, not Mr. Man.
It wasn't. All right.
That was done in the 80s under the Siaga administration.
So the refinery wasn't privatized, wasn't taken over by Manley at any time when it was under
No,
ESO.
it was taken over. It was taken over by the Siaga administration.
Okay,
from
all right.
ESO.
Thanks for that correction.
You see, Carla, true to talk on this program here now. Facts. Truth and
No, but I
facts.
just want to know because I was in the 70s and I remember ESO was running the refinery.
All right.
No, it was in the 80s. It was in the 80s. It was taken over.
All right. And NHT is also being destroyed by this government, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Another point I want to raise is that ODPEM and NARA is headed by 2 soldiers, which is quite concerning for me because soldiers only take instructions. I don't care if it is logical or not.
That's what they are trained to do. Comply and then complain.
All right. And as things stand
so
now...
hold on, Carla. I'm going to add one more. It's not 2 soldiers there now. What is Rocky Mead's position again, Raleigh?
He's the top technocrat in the office of the Prime Minister.
All right. So it's 3 soldiers there on the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
3 of them.
So we have soldiers in the mix. And we're heading into a situation whereby people are being controlled and headed into a particular area. Based on what Stan said this morning about the BOJ, which is something I understand all the while, is that the BOJ is always in the market with a big map mopping up liquidity. The government has money locked up in the vault and not spending it to stimulate the economy. Hence, they're driving the population into poverty. And as Bob Marley said, your brother got to be your enemy because you're hungry.
I got to get some food.
And this is like ambushing the broad daylight.
Well,
correct?
That is it, Carla. This one is not in the night. It's broad daylight. Big up yourself.
Broad daylight. So the thing I ask is that the PNP needs to step up their game and they can't make things get any worse for the people.
It's not just PNP needs to step up their game. The people of Jamaica needs to get more interested in the running of the country that they live in.
But the people of Jamaica seem like they have lost their intelligence and they're not interested anymore. So the few of us that can do something need to step up the game and let them understand.
And that's why we are stepping up the game here on Portland Spice TV.
Yeah,
so
man,
become ambassador, tell people about it, make them come listen and get knowledge.
Yeah, man, I do. That's why I say I'm glad Ralston get some more time on this program.
Yes, sir. Big up
yourself. Yeah, man. Blessings.
Right. Take care.
Yeah, man. All right, brother.
Raleigh, this Petrojam thing here is really serious.
We can't allow that to happen.
But how we going to stop them? Because I told you the other day that I got a vision in a Raleigh. That Nara is about the oil, you know. Remember me telling you that? Nara is about the oil. So if they take over Nara, sell Nara to them, not Nara, sorry, Petrojam to them crony, the government can put money in it to develop Petrojam, you know.
That's why all Jamaica must object to that, because that's a very bad economic decision. So if you take the politics out of it and look at straight economics, that's a very bad decision in this international environment. We cannot allow that.
Economic rally is complex, you know. And a lot of Jamaicans can understand complex matters. And that's why I say to you this morning, you are God sent. Somebody
that's why I have to simplify it,
Exactly. Somebody who can simplify this whole economics. That's why they don't like you, you know.
We know that, man. We know that.
Caller, go ahead. Morning. Welcome.
Hello, morning, Colin.
Hey, Neville.
Yeah, morning, Mr. Iman.
Yes, sir. Bless up, Neville.
Yeah, I just want to bring your attention to 4 incidents that happened during the course of this week. Starting going to the Jamington building in this financial year. I got that information yesterday. Secondly, the price at which the Gleaner building was sold, the people in Fletcher's land, they need to clean up their surroundings so that they can get some benefit of the value of the real estate on North Street.
How much was it sold for, Neville? I would love to know.
I don't know the exact figures, but it's millions of US dollars.
Although I'm a friend by it.
Yeah, LPSR. I wonder what they're going to do with it. Going to be a hub of the city. Congratulations. The Cayman Park, that dirty place. The parish council of St. Catherine run into them and tell them to clean up the mess over there in 30 days. Or risk closure, because over there is in a filthy state. Hey, Colin, did you know that in any well-governed country where you have racetrack like Santa Anita and Gulfstream and all of these big racetrack,
yeah,
the racetrack contribute at least 10% to the value of the housing stock in the community?
Sure, of course. I've been to Woodbine.
I came on at Park and its surrounding.
And any hotel? Are there any hotels close to Caymanas Park?
Yes, on the back road is the main hotel strip.
No, when I go to Woodbine,
and I tell you,
the hotels around Woodbine Racetrack are some of the top hotels in Toronto, man.
Thank you. And I tell you, the KCC of Portmore, in collaboration with all the MP of Portmore, should do a walkthrough of Portmore and mandate the people and the city folk to clean up them surrounding and the plazas. The plazas over Portmore is in a filthy mess. You see that Mega Mart building?
Yes.
I heard that it is being bought by a big bank. And the value that they get in for that real estate over by Portmore, I tell you, it's worth more than the supermarket if they were in business for 10 years.
So is a bank going there?
Is a bank going to buy the building? Don't know what they're going to do with it.
Okay.
But it's a valuable piece of real estate.
Yeah, man.
So how is that real estate that sit there is so valuable? While the houses stock of the surrounding area in Portmore is kept in such a filthy state and losing value. You can explain that to me, Ralston?
Raleigh? We don't lose. Raleigh is still there? I don't think we lost.
Colin.
Yeah.
Colin. We, the people of Jamaica, need to stop depending on government, whether it be PNP or JLP.
And that's why I said to the caller a while ago.
Manage these four things better.
That's why I said to the caller, hold on. That's why I said to the caller a while ago. Stop depending on the PNP. The people of Jamaica needs to get more interested in the running of the country.
Yeah, manage your time better, because all the money that they're talking about, they're using it to buy time. You see all the words that come out of your mouth, your information infrastructure.
Yes.
People must pay you to talk to them, you know. Or they pay Andrew Holness and Mark Golden to talk to them. People must pay you to talk to them to get your valuable information infrastructure. And you see a risk that you take, Colin, like all these risks. You know that the more you talk is the more your blood pressure raises.
That's how you go?
Yeah, my doctor tell me that on Thursday. So Mr. Carter, the more you talk is the more your blood pressure raises.
Okay.
And she also tell me when she tests my blood pressure. Hello?
Yeah, man, Raleigh's back with us. Go ahead.
Yeah. She tests my blood pressure when I'm lying down in my bed. And then she tell me to get up and she tests my blood pressure again. And what she realized that my blood pressure changed when I get up from when I'm lying down. And she said that when you wake up in the night to use the bathroom, give yourself 10 minutes before you get up off the bed. To bring back down your blood pressure. Dr. Reed. So Ralston, I want to ask you this question. How is it that the Gleaner real estate, the Jamintel real estate where starting is going in this financial year, and the Azan Mega Mart infrastructure, all this are valuable, and the housing stock in the communities are so undervalued? What causes that, Ralston?
Well, I mean, those things are specific transactions between what the buyer and the seller think it is worth. The fact that you have the difference between the housing stock is because the housing stock in them place there and the infrastructure, generally speaking, will upgrade. So those purchases by the new entities now, yeah, can lead to decisions to improve the quality of those communities. Yeah, man.
All right, Neville. Go ahead.
Yes.
Finish your thought.
Most of
The
these
poor
people
governance.
in Fletcher's land, they can't take their land title and go downtown to any bank and borrow any money to develop anything in there. You know?
Most of them don't have no title, and the one who have title can't go there. Go down. Most of those places, the owners gone about them business and people just take over them places. Yep. And those who have titles because of the general state of the area, them can't get the money for borrow. Yeah, based on the income levels and the general state of the area. The government's inability to invest in infrastructure is one thing we drag down the value of many areas, you know. The poor sewage water run out on road, the poor manholes and all of them things there. So the government needs to upgrade the country by fixing up the country's infrastructure. That's one of the things that was victim of the foolish Clarkian strategy to focus on debt alone. And that's one of the reasons that Beryl create 1.4 trillion in damage, because we never fix the infrastructure and make the world, the gully them run down, the bridge them run down, the sewer them run down. Yeah, poor policy.
All right, Mr. Carter.
To be continued.
To be continued. If you're just joining us, this is Portland Spice TV. We're talking to the top financial analysts anywhere upon the planet right now, Ralston Iman. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, like, and share. Click the notification bell. Yes, Raleigh?
Yeah, if I put it more simple that people can understand, it's like you have your house, yeah, and the toilet a leak and you know fix the toilet, the manhole them run out the back and run out the sewer and you know fix it. You follow me, I said to you, the roof want fix and you know fix the roof, yeah, but you spend money on other things until a hurricane come and the whole of the place has flood out and mash up and then you run up and down like you eat that. And the same thing happened to the country.
Final call for the morning. Go ahead, caller.
Same thing.
Good morning, Colin. Good morning, Ralston.
Morning, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, man, you hearing us, Raleigh? Raleigh? Raleigh, you're not hearing us. Sound like Ralston not hearing us, caller. But go ahead.
You know, Colin, this morning was very, 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 rambunctious in a positive way.
Yes.
But the
Raleigh,
one
you hearing
word
us?
I'm asked.
Hold on, caller. Raleigh, you hearing us? Sound like Raleigh not hearing us. Go ahead, caller.
The Prime Minister used a word in his speech this week. He was being strategic.
He was being idiotic.
But my question is, Colin, strategic for who? Himself and his cronies and his family? Can't be strategic for the Jamaican people with all the topics that have listened to you, for callers that calling this morning with their concern. Uncle Ralston's, systematically come down, give us the simple terms of what's really happening. The real Conrad O'Brien putting the talk from Fitzjackson, from Mr. Paulwell. What? Put it in a nutshell, Colin. What this Prime Minister talking about is being strategic.
Raleigh, you want to respond to that? Raleigh? We're hearing him in the background, but I don't know why. I don't know why I'm not hearing us.
I wonder what's blocking him.
Because we're hearing him.
Yes, we are.
Raleigh.
Is he being muted on yours? No, we are hearing him, so it's not muted.
Yeah, he's not muted. But he's not hearing us. And he just rejoined. Yeah, continue, caller.
It's sad, Colin. It's sad, it's scary, it's dangerous. it's evil, it's critical, because this is what he's asking of us, you know. The framework of the strategic framework that his work is talking about. People still under blue tarpaulin, you know.
Yes.
People not under where to live, you know. All of what them put in place, and then say them put in place, fail, you know. Measure up, for example, roofs program. All of these things that they said they were doing for the people. Now we hear how the money no spend, our one no spend, our what spend. We hear, so we send back to funds and what this and that. It's nothing about the people.
Let me see if Raleigh hearing us now. Raleigh, you hearing us now? Ralston, you hearing us? No, sir. Raleigh, you hearing us? Not hearing us at all, caller. He comes back, but he's not hearing us.
Honestly, Colin, we need clarity. We need clarity. We need action. We need something. Because is it possible that what he has militarized is important and essential place he puts people in these strategic positions? Is there, we know so there's going to be there's a result for this, you know, there's an end goal for this, you know. But is it beneficial to the Jamaican people?
I don't see where anything that they are doing will benefit the Jamaican people. I think that they are looking after themselves. In that call I had yesterday with a longtime friend, he said that Prime Minister Andrew Holness knows how to win election. I am not going to dispute that. He knows how to win election, but then does he know how to run the country? He's not running the country properly. Winning the election is one, but then when you win the election, the people of Jamaica suffer. Ralston, you hearing us now?
Yeah, man.
I don't know what happened. We were hearing you all along, but you were not hearing us. The caller is asking that the Prime Minister said that they were being strategic in not spending the money. What kind of strategy was that?
Nonsense, a nonsense strategy. Because anybody who understands economics or even understand medicine, operation have to be swift and precise. So the economy sick from Hurricane Melissa, you have to be swift and precise about what you're doing. And another thing, we're in an environment where inflation is accelerating. The quicker you spend the money, the better value you get from it. The Prime Minister only demonstrating lack of economic intelligence. All right, this is the people when them talk them nonsense.
All right, caller. If you have a next question for Raleigh, because we want
no, it's just to follow up on what Uncle Ralston says. So if that's the over here, so all these strategic placements that he's placing into these positions, it has nothing to do with the country, running the country for the people of Jamaica then. Because Uncle Ralston is telling you, and correct me if I'm wrong, before Melissa, we had the economy sick. And the symptoms were getting on. No, Melissa come.
The economy met in an accident. It was sick before, and then it met in a major accident rally.
So you need emergency surgery. You can't sit down. If you do that, you get fired as a surgeon. Yeah.
All right.
Simple.
So just like how them have people sit down in a chair and wait, that's how them have the economy sit down in a chair in the hallway, and it'll drop off of the chair and dead.
Yeah, man, and the people man at the top all in a wait with the scandal bag and them thing the same way. Rubbish.
And the hurricane season start Monday.
Even those promises are that he made about 5,000 container that you were, oh my goodness, you even call in Scott.
Yes.
On about it, Colin.
So is that
and even then, no, we hear a different tune.
All right, caller, we want to take two more calls before we go. Go ahead, Raleigh.
Yeah, so it's a double bad decision, because it was a bad decision that it would leak off money out of the country first to say importing. And then you say import it all, no one now come and put down it on the ground yet. So it's a double bad decision, a whole lot of incompetence, man.
Raleigh, I am still concerned about the necessary activities, because with the $30 billion that you told us that they are going to spend in Naira, none of that is scheduled for housing infrastructure, is it?
No, well, them never break out where them structured for. Them say the housing trust would do some 50 billion in housing infrastructure, but it never specify whether a down there, so it just across the board. Yeah, so it was a housing trust building. It's not Melissa specific. What them say was Melissa specific was a 30 billion. What them say never spent, but them never tell us what it is going to do.
You mean Nara
So
specific? The $30 billion for Nara?
Yeah, so it would we have to say clearly outline what is going to happen in relation to those things.
Raleigh, let's look at the recession that we are presently in. You are telling us about it. We are talking about it here. I think OB talking about it. Is there anybody else who is talking about this recession, Raleigh?
No, everybody is afraid to call it, just like how they were afraid to call the barrel recession and Rain Henry come and chat a whole lot of nonsense. But we know what is the international definition of a recession, and all the financial experts internationally are talking about a recession if the war continues. Jamaica already placed itself in a recession prior to Melissa, then Melissa came, and then there's the war, and there are no policies to move us forward. The Director General of the Plan Institute of Jamaica, who is the government's PR, said apart from the 7.1 drop in the whole in the last quarter of last year and the 6%, he's expecting another drop of 4% during the second quarter. Yeah?
You mean 5.9?
No, man. The first quarter of this year.
Oh, the first quarter this year is 5.9.
Yeah.
The second quarter,
yeah, and he's saying that he's expecting another 4% drop during the second quarter.
Rotted.
Yep, that's his own words. Yep.
And him no mention nothing about the third quarter?
No. Him just go to the second quarter. They would have to do something special. They would have to do something special and start spend some money to change the dynamics in the third quarter.
The governor said that. The governor did say that he give up the entire 2026?
Yeah, man. Well, it's true. It's true. What do you expect? You see them do anything for do anything?
Hold on. Chris Campbell is just texting in. Canada just entered a recession.
All right. See?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's take one final call before we go. Caller, go ahead.
Yes, good morning.
Morning and welcome.
I want to say the PNP gaining 14 more seats, which is 28, which is close to what the JLP have, because I think they have 33, 34. We're not feeling that, improvement in the seats. I don't know if some people not working or what.
Are you following the parliament, sir?
No, not really. But I think generally,
how you're going to feel? How you're going to feel it if you're not following the progress?
Well, a lot of things that the government is getting away with. I think the PNP should be more.
How you suggest that the PNP stop them from getting away with those things?
Well, but I think if Mark was not aggressive enough, I think he needs to get a little more aggressive with, not just him alone, but I would have loved to hear them more, in a lot of areas, because I think Andrew Williams' behavior is as if, is a one-man government thing. And he's getting away with a lot of things. He's doing a lot of things that the opposition should be out there,
Did you hear the interview with Fitzjackson this morning?
No. Wake up a little late-ish.
Did you hear the interview with Angela Brownberg a couple of weeks ago?
No.
Did you hear the interview with Nikisha Burchell?
Yeah, well, me I follow Nikisha Burchell.
Colin.
Yeah, I've seen, I heard a lot from her.
All right, caller, you have to follow the thing a little bit more. But make we talk tomorrow morning because we're wrapping up this program, all right?
All right, what day is that tomorrow?
9 o'clock.
All right, cool, yeah.
Go ahead, Raleigh.
Yeah, here's my thing with the caller still. What message is Parliament now work? Yeah? So,
yeah,
we understand we're going on Parliament. So, Parliament really now work. Yeah, so that don't make a whole lot of sense. So, while them speeches might get some media coverage on them in the 9 day, Parliament now work. Yep, so the man of the Parliament lock down, do whatever they want. The opposition can't chat little more. You might get shut off and all kind of controversy.
Not might.
The
Will get
opposition,
shut down.
yeah, the opposition officer said that alone now work. Them have to broaden them spectrum and store and reach out to the people because on the ground now that the people them really understand that happened. Them not feeling the opposition. The government around the country like say them alone.
Yes.
Like 410 or 400,000 of people never vote for the opposition. Yeah, Prime Minister move like a dictator. Yep. So everybody surrender. You know, I get nothing from, if you notice it, none of the 3 so-called top economic agencies call the recession or have anything to say about where the foolishness was starting though or where the idiot business with the PIOJ though. But right
fact,
away, the 3 of them
one of them come out and shut down the recession argument and say we are not in a recession and will not be in a recession.
Who that?
PIOJ, the man that say we're not going to be in a recession because we're not too.
I'm not talking about the government agency. I'm talking about the private sector people who run the economy, Chamber of Commerce, PSOJ, JMA. If you notice, none of them not call the recession. All of them people silent. But if you notice, all of them was quick to endorse the appointment at the head of NARA. Them couldn't even make the ink dry upon the appointment.
Because everybody I wash out them belly, I hope then get a piece of the pie Ralston. What's wrong with you?
That not trying to tell you. Yep.
Everybody I fall in line.
Yep. That me I tell you. So me understand what the caller said. Yeah, so the man them must pretty much have them own way to do everything with them on. Yep. And that is a very big problem because them make a whole lot of mistakes. Yeah. So if you have all the carte blanche just be a mistake. The economy just go down the tubes and where children end up with a bag of money with them have to pay back. We have to prevent against that.
Not only our children. I keep saying to you in a rally, we need to stop talking about just the children, you know. If we are planning to get old, because we are and sufferation now come because we are going to go back to children's stage in a little while and we expect to live in Jamaica. Our car now go dark.
Yep. Yeah, man, you get it. You get it. You get it, brother.
Give thanks. We'll talk all day evening.
Yeah, man. Blessings. All right, cool.
Blessings. One love. We have a call on the line and I want to take her because she lost her son. I want to talk to her, but I want to remind my listeners and viewers. When I looked at the petition last night, I think we're gone 28,000. We're above the 15, but very far from the 100,000 that I would love that petition to reach. So I want to ask the Portland Spice ambassadors to also share the link to the petition to all the people in your contact. Please and thanks. Auntie, morning.
Yeah, man, morning.
How you doing?
Well, me go to doctor now. My pressure go up and I come down, but I try my best.
Calm down. Walk on. Talk to me.
Yeah, man. But away from that, my son I want me to be strong. Because I'm a vibrant boy.
Yes.
Joke and go along
Yes.
But panic, me agree with that two way. You know what I'm saying? Nikisha Burchell.
Yeah.
Is a promising in any field where she's going now. She's a promising angel. Mm-hmm. And we have 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice.
See how they run?
Can't come out from Nikisha. No. Me gonna take on Juliet Cuthbert first. Juliet Cuthbert.
Oh, the sealer? Juliet Cuthbert a sealer.
Well, me soon tell her when me soon fix him. I'll give one name to him. Because I don't want more. You are the ministry, are the security minister, you're second to Chang. You know, see nothing wrong with the whole of police killing we have in our country without body camera. One, there's a foreigner been murdered, been killed at the Sangsters airport or nearby. The police say one thing and Mr. Vaz said the other thing. Those are the things you should pay attention to.
You know, your Nikisha says she don't know where Juliet do.
When your name Sinclair come out in an election and disrespect Nikisha Burchell. Wicked. I will never say nothing. Dean Jackson Miller, he's a senior journalist. Where plenty will look up to you and did believe in you. If you say what you say A, it's really A. But now we are seeing your true color. So he's a flip-flopper. What the young lady has said to Juliet Wallace, she not disrespectful. She have behaved like the parliament up her yard where she had chat to her husband and her picnic. Come on, say nothing wrong with that. They all have a part of the parliament to play. And when you look on Juliet Wallace CV, it's not clean. Juliet Wallace shouldn't be no speaker of no house. And if you dig up or whatever, even out of one mouth, your listener, she say her wedding the turn fish fry, but never asked her. And she talks stuff. So you know, say they not come from nowhere, they have a good table. My God, what kind of example was it for the people in my university, high school and primary school? Come on, man. We don't make one man and you only put the other up on the whole out. Come on, people, man.
Carla.
And I want to take this one and yesterday, right? But here, opportunity. I'm appealing, I'm begging the ladies in the diaspora who work hard and send on the money for me and look for me. If we could fight among ourselves to even take one day to come at Jamaica, we make a protest. Pure female. I will want to wear white and red.
All right, start.
Come in, man. I am looking at the night.
Start the advocacy. Call me tomorrow morning and give you some time to start that advocacy. Good idea. I like it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, listeners and viewers, we start at 9 o'clock. I have a whole heap of things I want to share with you. But I had an interview on Richie B's program the other morning. And at the end of the program, listen to this.
Important. I have one more question, and that's for Colin. I'll give you 30 seconds. If you should see Nikisha Burchell this morning, you're in the same space. What are the words that you'd say to her first?
Stand firm.
Okay.
Stand firm. Richie, let me just say this here. The standing orders in the parliament are there to guide the rules of the parliament, but the speaker should be like a policeman who uses discretion. You hear two line of patois and you draw your gavel right away. That's how you hate our native tongue. We have to do better than that, Richie. We have to do better than that.
Thank you.
Yes, let me thank all of you for joining us this morning. Thanks to Fitz Jackson for taking time out to share with us this morning. Thanks, Ralston Iman, the professor, as per usual. Thanks to you, the listeners and viewers. Thanks to all the Portland Spice ambassadors who have been out there telling people about Portland Spice, inviting them to come and subscribe to the channel and listen to the programs, get the information. One love, my people. This is all about Jamaica, building up Jamaica, informing the people, giving you accurate information, telling you the truth and giving you financial lessons. Yeah? Do remember to join us tomorrow morning. We start at 9 o'clock. That program is called Talk Jamaica, where we open the phone lines. So all who never get to call this morning, tomorrow morning is your time. One love, my people. Louis Culture, take us out.
Tell them to try pre-wee, big up Portland Spice TV. Tell them to try pre-wee, big up Portland Spice TV. Remember to subscribe. See, Portland Spice TV, Louis Culture said once and I say it again. Portland Spice TV. We are going to hold them and pop it off. Bogus bench where we rip off. Subscribe, share, Portland Spice TV.